How long would you play this for? A minute or two? How about 8 hours? Many long levels end up like this. They're just way too boring, so let's fix that. I'll show you how creators make long levels interesting and exciting, but these techniques can work with any length. So first, what makes levels boring? Is there just one click every 5 seconds, or so easy that you almost fall asleep? Or is there just nothing to look at? Well, issues like these are a symptom of a common cause, which is pacing. Pacing is crucial for interesting levels. If you get it right, your level will feel great, but if you mess it up, you'll have boring slop. Now there's a lot of nuance and complexity to pacing, which I'll explain soon, but in simple terms, doing something is better than doing nothing. Take this gameplay for instance. The part on the left has almost no clicks per second, so there's not much to keep you interested. The right part requires many more clicks, which makes it more interesting to play. Or look at this deco. The part on the right has more intricate details, moving objects, and changing colors to keep you interested. Something is better than nothing. So first lesson, make your level have something. Whether your gameplay makes players click often, or your decoration has lots of details and animations, your level will be way cooler than if you had nothing at all. Fast-paced levels are often some of the most exciting in the game, so then why isn't everyone making them? Ocular Miracle is a 5-minute extreme demon that's full of fast-paced gameplay and vibrant decoration. It also crashes your device if you try to play it. Having so much content means the level uses almost 1 million objects, and the game just can't handle that. So with long levels, you need a slower pace so the game won't crash, meaning less content in your level. And that's not the only limit. Have you ever played a level with lots of flashing lights and effects? It might look cool to watch, but those get really distracting when you actually play. Some people can't even watch these levels because of epilepsy, or because their eyes will hurt after a while. All this to say, too much content is overwhelming and even frustrating. Something is better than nothing, but you can't have it all. Your level should be fast enough to be interesting, but not so fast it's infuriating. It takes some time to get the hang of this balance, but you'll get better just by making more levels and getting thoughts from others as they watch or play. When you get this balance, you'll accomplish the holy grail and the whole point of pacing, flow. When you're in the flow state, you're deeply concentrated on what the game shows you. You don't care about anything else. It's just that everything feels so good right now. Yeah, you still have work to do. Here's a quick list of everything you need to reach the flow state. You need to find the Goldilocks zone for each player where just enough is happening to keep them interested, but not so much that they're overwhelmed. And you can't idle either. Their attention is running and you need to catch it fast. Look, here's Subway Surfers and Backbeat Revenge. Please stay here, I promise you're going somewhere. You only need to get them into flow using game modes, side changes, details, and animations, but keep them in flow, and different people need different things to get into flow, and your level feels boring when you watch it, but it has too much when you play, and it's too much, and it's impossible. Lesson 2. You can't please everyone, no matter what you do. But you can interest someone. Comatose is a 9-minute level released last year. The first 2 minutes aren't spent trying to arrest your attention or keep you deeply entranced. The level is designed around delayed gratification. There's just enough in the first parts, hints of what's to come, to keep you waiting if you choose to. It can't be 9 minutes of pure action, and it doesn't want to be either. Comatose is how you make a long level right. For one, it has a defined target audience. Some people just like longer levels, and those people will play and watch it. If you're making something like this, find people who like long levels and ask them for feedback, since they're the ones who will actually play. Plus, the level has something to say. Comatose is long not because it's forced to be, but because it packs in so much stuff that it can't be any shorter. The flow state won't work if your level doesn't do anything, so don't make a long level if you can't fill that space up. You need to show new things and bring the player on a journey, otherwise they may leave fast. Well Rested is a 7-minute level that rewards you for its journey. It starts out very slow but gradually progresses over 3 minutes. The longer you play, the faster it gets, with distinct parts and new game modes and player sizes and movements and particles, and then it just kinda stops. We are this close to the climax, the most interesting part, the reward for your 3.5-minute journey, but you get nothing? Well, you can't stop now, that clearly can't be the end. And that feeling of anticipation and tension puts you in the perfect place for this. These levels use 2 types of pacing to stay engaging. There's enough content in each part to stay interesting, but each part shows you something new and has a different pace. In other words, they progress. GD levels typically have 4 types of parts, each with a distinct pace: intros, build-ups, breakdowns, and drops. Intros usually have a slow pace but have enough to get you in the flow state. Build-ups gradually increase the pace, breakdowns decrease it, and drops maintain the fastest pace. Each type of part can help your progression, which makes your levels stay interesting. What's important is that you don't randomly break progression for no reason. It's kind of annoying if you're hit with a, "By the way, you should join our Discord server. We have tons of resources that will make you a way better creator," when it doesn't fit. But when changing parts, it's totally fine to change the pace as well. When should you change parts? It can be hard to decide, but most levels use their song as a guide. When the song gets intense, so will your level. When it pulls back the pace, so do you. Lesson 3. Use your level's song to guide progression. When making a section of gameplay, listen to what comes later in the song and imagine what will change when you get there. For instance, you might change the player's game mode or size to mark a different part, or use a new speed instead. These changes should feel special, so if you're using speed changes for progression, don't put them all over the place. Then build out your gameplay, and if you did it right, it's easy to make deco that progresses with the gameplay. Like, check this out. Video is an 8-minute level which gradually builds intensity for the first 5 minutes by following the song. The gameplay starts out really intense, but then calms down and slowly builds over time, which is mirrored by the deco. And the drop is really cool, like trust me, you'll want to see this. Well, my bad. Let me just get back to the drop. I'm sure this is worth the wait. Okay, trust me, the drop is really cool. It only takes me 5 minutes to get there on each attempt. I'm only spending forever on the slow parts, and if I get close to the drop and die again, that's punishments change how you play a level. If you do everything right, you get rewarded, and if you don't, you die. This shows you how to play correctly, but it comes with a cost. Long levels are extra punishing because each attempt takes so much more time, and sometimes the increased punishment and nerves just aren't fun. So how do you fix this? Well, you can't make players less nervous unless you're a psychic, and if you nerf the whole level, that makes it boring to play and ruins the pace. So your only real option is to cheat. What do I mean? Well, long levels are punishing because each attempt sends you right back to the start. And sometimes to fix that, you'll need a bit of deception. For someone watching the level, they'll see a pace like this, but for players, it will feel more like this. Lesson 4. Balance pacing with making your level fun. If we look at this difficulty curve, it's the opposite of the pacing curve. The slow parts are slightly harder while the fast parts are easier. So when playing, the two curves cancel out, making the level less varied but generally more fun. This isn't totally perfect though. If you change difficulty too much, you may end up with spikes where the level suddenly gets way too hard. These aren't fun and will knock players out of flow, which we don't want. But what if there's another way to fix this? No matter how easy you make a level, if it takes 10 minutes to beat, you'll always have a huge punishment for dying. But thanks to update 2.2, you can make checkpoints in classic levels, which lowers the punishment for death. Now, you can't do this normally. By default, the game only has checkpoints in platformer mode, but a member of our server made them work in classic levels, which you can copy from this ID. And if you want more tools to improve your levels, join the Discord server with the link below.